Hello and welcome to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Last time we went through the ruins in the dig site, we found Odorizi, the foreman of that place. He was dead. He was not a pile of ash, but he was turned into these stone ashen thingies. And then we had a little chit chat with Eothas, who apparently is marching towards the next luminous Adra pillar. And now we're back in the mayor's or the governor's estate to bring him the notes of Odorizi, because he promised us that if we bring him these, he would help us get our ship back ready and ready to go for more adventures. So let's do that without any further ado. Our team still is Adair, we have Shoti, and then we have Aloth, who is a little bit undercover here on the island, as we found out, but he only wants to tell us more once we leave Port Maje.
I shall.
So he's working late, apparently. It's dark in here. Same goes for Luisa. But let's talk to Governor Clario.
Yes? Something you need?
I have information for you about the dig site.
At last, Belfetto, tell me, please, what has happened? How much have we lost? I must know.
I'm sorry, some of your animators made it, but I'm afraid Odorizi was killed when Eothas arrived. So now we have to commit that it's Eothas to him. But before that, I'm kind of hesitant to mention that it's like a reincarnated god rocking around, because I'm afraid people might think that I'm crazy. Let's go with this.
I see. And the work? Odorizi's notes? Was there nothing of his research?
Oh, we could lie. Ooh, interesting. I mean, the notes could certainly be helpful in the future. But no, let's give him the notes. That was the deal we made with him.
You did. Gods be kind.
Clara takes the bundled notes from you with barely restrained urgency. With the moments he is flipping through the papers, his eyes weeping back and forth across the pages. You've lost an item. Odorizi's notes.
Belfetto! We are saved!
Clario lets out a relieved, almost giddy laugh, looking up with you with a toothy grin. A grin he hides soon after beneath a cough and a look of some regret.
That is, Odorizi's legacy is not wholly
Sure.
lost. I like to believe the man would find that pleasing.
He folds the papers once again and sets his hands over them protectively.
You say this is all the work of the Titan, of Eothas, and you still insist on looking for him? He destroyed your ship, killed my people. Would it not make more sense to sail to the far side of the world and away from all this?
It is the God of Light we're talking about.
You are too trusting in your superstition. Believe in what you have seen and felt. The death of every man and woman at that dig site.
Eothas is using the Adra pillar as an energy source. If I can find more, I can find him.
Merla. He will ravage every outpost in the Deadfire. That Adra is why we are here. Why everyone is here, in truth. The Valiant Trading Company, the Royal Deadfire Company, countless mercenaries. You'll want to go to Nekataka. Queen Onekaza II rules there at the Kahanga Palace. Anyone seeking to do business in the Deadfire Archipelago must negotiate with her first.
Okay.
The Queen knows every Adra vein of worth in the Deadfire. I'm certain she can help you. That is, if she agrees to see you at all.
Who are the Kahanga?
The most powerful tribe in the region, now that Onekaza II has united a host of them under her rule. Ikawa would disagree, but then Ikawa contents herself with a spit of land and a handful of followers.
You promised to help me.
I have not forgotten. We will get you to Nekataka. And for that, you need your sheep.
True.
I'll arrange it with Ikawa. Between the two of us, I'm certain we can gather the workers we need.
That sounds good.
Head down to the beach once you are ready to depart.
Farewell.
Safe travels, Captain. Do take care.
Okay. We have a level up with Shoti, so let's have a look at that. Let's go a little further into stealth with her and into history. Okay. What do we have here in terms of passive abilities? Increase the character's fortitude defense. Pretty good. Increase the character's reflexes. Soul Mirror, combat focus, Bull's Will. Swift Fury. And become friendly blur off attacks, increasing the action speed for a brief period of time and granting them quick inspiration. Also shock damage. Efficient Anguish. Blade Turning. The monk used lightning fast hand movement to redirect incoming melee attacks for a short time. Commons read. This ability exploits the shared bonds of universal suffering between all beings. The target is hit with a powerful blow while enemies in a cone behind the target suffer. Well, that's pretty good. And then let's take some fortitude, or let's take some reflexes. Okay. So I guess that is it for now here. Maybe able to leave. Let me look at the journal. Find someone who might know it as friend. The lantern of gone. Then return to the beach. Yeah. Guess we have to do that. So he clearly didn't care much about the animancers there or about Odorisi as long as he got his notes back. But he at least was true to his word and is helping us now to escape the island by helping us repair the ship, which I do appreciate. Okay, so let's just leave Port Maje. On foot. I think there's not much else right now to do. And then we will return to the beach where our crew is gathered and obviously our ship is stranded. And then it might be time to leave the island. to me it looked like that we will be able to travel the map similar to this on foot, that we can then also do the same on water. It should be interesting. I kind of like that. That is a slight change to the first Pillars of Eternity, but that makes exploring a little more fun, or even possible. It wasn't really like freely exploring wasn't possible in the first Pillars of Eternity. You traveled from one spot of interest to the next one, but you had no in between exploring. And I like that you here then stumble upon some or certain points of interest that you can check out, where you have a little encounter, sometimes a small map.
Good, you are here. Clario has made good on his promise. We are making ready to free your ship.
Nice. Ikawa gestures towards your vessel, where a motley group of Huana and Valiant workers race to and fro.
I say still that you are fortunate. The ship was nearly lost, but it will float. For how long, I cannot say. You will wish to find a friendly port with some speed, I think.
Okay, do you know where Nikataka is?
So you will go to the great Kahanga city as well. You must sail north for some time, and then a little east. Take care in Nekataka, outsider.
Okay,
It will close its
northeast.
jaws around you, and you will never notice. Come, we will see your defiant out to sea.
I think we got some level ups. Blessing gained, achievement unlocked, Sailor's Life. To blessing. I don't know what that means. We're blessed now. That is good. You received a curious message from Harbinger Butnir. That might be the DLC. Quest item, wax sealed letter. This missive, written in what looks like dried blood on a slice of tanned leather, came to you rolled and sealed with the mark of the Aurochs. The lettering, spidery and sharp, suggests the sender may have been shivering as they composed it. Most glorious watcher of Cat Noor, I cordially invite you to a feast to be held in your honor. Community of like minds has congregated at Harbinger's Watch, a small outpost located in the southern Deadfire Sea, to witness the Dead Flow's rapid expansion. Soon I shall consume all Rimgand dominions are over Dead Eora be unchallenged. We eagerly anticipate hosting your magnificence with admiration for your many accomplishments, Vatnir, High Harbinger of Dusk.
We should address the matter of our ship's resources before we get underway.
Okay, so we have a little bit of supply here. Irena was injured, okay.
It saddens me to inform you that we lost several crew and most of our provisions during the storm. However, Port Maje appears to be well supplied, and I expect the recent disaster has left several sailors in want of a ship.
Okay.
I suggest we contract for additional supplies and crew before we return to open water, or our voyage may indeed be a short one.
Okay. Ship-to-ship combat. In Deadfire, not every ship on the sea is friendly. Hostile ships can attempt to engage you in ship-to-ship combat. During ship combat, distance and orientation to the enemy are vital to your success. Distance determines if the enemy is in range of your cannons, or if you are in range of theirs. Orientation determines what cannons, if any, you can fire, as well as how easily your ship may be hit. Turning your side to the enemy may allow you to fire the most cannons, but it makes you an easier target. Each ship must maintain its sails and hull. Damaged sails limit the speed of a ship. If a hull is destroyed, the ship will sink. A ship's cannons are also limited by how much ammunition the ship is carrying. When two ships get close to each other, they can board or ram. Boarding locks the two ships together and transitions to a deck-to-deck fight between the two ship crews. A ramming attack does damage to the hull of both ships. If one does not sink, the battle transitions to a deck-to-deck battle. Once you have victoriously sunk the other ship or defeated them in deck-to-deck combat, you can plunder what remains. Plunder typically includes ship resources, treasure, and occasionally the unique triumph of a noteworthy enemy captain. Coins can be shared with the crew to improve morale, and triumphs are always flown from your ship's rigging. Okay. So much to learn. Irena, not healing. That is, I think, the one that was trapped under the rocks. No, not the rocks, under the barrels. So let's grab this first. Ooh. Look at that! Is it hunting me? I mean, there was not much I could do about that, right? As the Defiance leaves Port Maje behind, you casually observe dozens of ships coming and going, mostly fishing and trade vessels. One craft stands out, an imposing dhow, replete with cannons, crests into view across the Defiance starboard bow. The flag raised high atop its sails signifies a wish to parley. However, the dhow approaches at an aggressive speed, suggesting that it may not be easily turned away. Ooh. You spin the ship's wheel counterclockwise. The ship swings around quickly, disturbing a gull resting on the foremast. The bird voids a white splotch on the deck as sign of disapproval. You even out the wheel and bear straight towards the dhow. The distance closes quickly, and soon the massive dhow's hull rolls on the waves beside your ship. Boarding planks emerge and are quickly cast onto your ship, along with shouts from its crew notifying you that their captain will be boarding. Several well-armed men cross the planks, their eyes watching every inch of your ship. The crowd parts open to make way for the captain, a tall, well-dressed man. He peers at you with one impeccably groomed eyebrow raised. Following behind the captain, and in stark contrast, strides an unkempt Orlan. A pair of pistol grips protrude from his belt, and casually twirls a stocky firearm round his index finger. His shaggy face, framed by long cobalt blue hair and a wildly braided cerulean beard, makes the crooked smirk he directs at you seem almost sinister. Okay, interesting. Wonder if it's the guy on the loading screen on the left. So I guess that was an encounter we couldn't really avoid.
Adro, Waterocadno. On behalf of the Principes and Patrina, I must request we meet in parley.
Okay, the broad-shouldered captain uptilts his chin in greeting. When he smiles, his left cheek divots a short dimple. Couldn't have asked before you boarded my ship uninvited. You have my attention.
Agrasima. I will make this quick.
He flourishes a courtly bow.
I have heard some marvelous tales regarding your ventures in the Deerwood. In fact, you are the first dragon slayer I have ever met, outside of a grave. Some fools would seek to make a fortune by pilfering from one such as you.
He's done his research. Might as well hear him out.
Okay, under the captain's word, you hear a faint but insistent buzzing. It blooms, overwhelming Furante's voice, drowning out all else around you. No one else seems to notice. A vision. Thunder cracks between your ears, and you glimpse a different sun-shot sea behind your eyes. Ooh, let's fight against it. You close your mind against the spiritual invasion, but the visions slide around and through your defenses, washing over you as impeccable as the sea. The visions streak across your mind's eye, fleeting and incoherent, an elf, dark-haired and battle-scarred, stepping across the gulf between the vessels. She shakes Ferrante's hand, and warmth spills through you. Excitement, pride, respect. The imagery melts like candle wax into a lamp-lit galley swamped with the scent of unwatered rum and sweet fruit, with sailors and their songs sweat. The scene billows away, ice cold and clawing, replacing the crew on deck solemn and staring as Ferrantes grasps one of their own by the throat. No, not one of their own, no more. You don't steal from family and stay family. Tears and mucus mar the man's features as Ferrantes reads the man his last rites. Thief or no, they'll consign him to Andra as tradition dictates. The vision passes, leaving you blinking on the deck of the Defiant. Looking into Ferrante's face, he raises an eyebrow.
I believe you have met such a fool. Captain Benweth of the Drake.
Oh yeah, we are familiar. Despite the gravity of his words, he smiles grandly, and the dimple cuts deeper into his left cheek. And a cipher's handiwork when I feel it. Tell yours to stay out of my head. I remember the Drake. You say there's Captain. Yeah, let's don't mess with me here. The blue Orlan's mouth falls open.
Voxen of Ubilnet Merla. Careful, ship hunter. Mind that you do not confuse a useful skill set for a non-expendable one.
Ferrante glares at Seraphim. The Orlan steps back, blinking away the rebuke, and peers at you, probing. His yellow-green eyes narrow and focused, as if trying to remember something. Then the captain turns a warm smile back at you.
My apologies. Rest assured, it will not happen again.
Apologies, Captain. Didn't mean it, really. We're up all night, you know, searching out our friend here.
He looks to you.
You've been at sea a while. Your mind starts playing tricks on you, eh? Well, mine plays tricks on others, too. Usually don't mean much. Maybe see a bit of shadow, hear a bit of tune. Not less a person sensitive. Like, say, a watcher.
I remember the Drake.
Gelarde. Then that should make this easy. I am keen to show my rascal of a compatriot some much-needed humility. I thought perhaps you may care to as well.
For Auntie's, do my job for me, friend. Hope you don't die in the effort.
The rogue's word flit through your thoughts like darters. Not quite your own, but not entirely unlike your own either. Where might I find Captain Benweth? Say I wanted to teach him a lesson. If Benweth is one of your own, shouldn't you take responsibility for his actions?
Benweth is no captain of mine, Imika. It is not beneath my flag his Drake sails. Yet I do seek to temper his actions when they would endanger the Principe altogether.
Where might I find where might I find him?
Benweth's Drake took damage during the storm. Eventually he will need to dock for repairs, and when he does, Seraphim can find him for you.
Ferrante flourishes and a hand towards the Orlan at the side.
He is rather an unrefined creature, but he is a most skilled ship hunter, I assure you.
Unrefined? Begging your pardon, Captain, but I'd be the fucking model of the gentleman of fortune.
Wow.
As for Benweth, that sucker of squid tits be as predictable as the tide. Wager all my furriest bits that he'd set sail for Deadlight.
That would be felicitous indeed, as I believe the traitor Remaro hides there as well. I quite enjoy killing two men with a single bullet.
Wouldn't have even thought of it if you hadn't brought it up, sir.
Yet you feel an urge of anger that's not your own. Seraphim spins towards you and bows again.
Now, I ain't hardly in any hurry to leave the fine company of the gentlemen of leisure. But the captain be right about me finding your mark. Adding to that, you sail into Fort Deadlight not knowing your innies from your outies, you might very well find the locals cannon fucking your boat to sodden splinters.
He grins broadly. I like this guy. What can you do for me?
Are you asking aside from my vaunted ship hunting abilities, self-evident manners, and cyclopedic know-how of all things piratical?
Yes, aside from the
Well,
obvious.
there'll be me knowing my way around Fort Deadlight, so named on account of it being a fortress and all. I got my contacts inside, and I'll be half handy with a gun if shit goes belly up.
Okay.
Adding to that, I'll be right easy on the eyes, or so the lasses tell me.
Quite easy.
I'll be the old package and a half, Captain.
Aloth has some issues with that.
As you see, Seraphim is both insufferable and marvelously useful.
Seems like you're pretty eager. Well, yeah. Let's first ask why loan me your best ship hunter.
What venture does not require an investment to be prosperous? The Seraphim is an allowance, which I expect you will return, in one payment or another.
Okay. Seems like you're eager to join me.
Well, of course I'll be eager to give Benworth the old Evo. That half-cock's been a pain in our asses for the better part of, well, too fucking long. You said you met him, Seems the type that needs a bullet, don't he?
Okay. He projects his words a tad louder than necessary. I know that there's something you're not telling me.
Alright, there's boat holds I ain't telling you, Watcher. I ain't telling you about the lass I have back on Deadlight. Ain't telling you what we did or didn't do last time I seen her, neither. Certainly ain't telling you about the secret pirate handshake that'll get you in the door.
Ferrante shakes his head, but his smile widens into a sincere grin. Well, welcome aboard.
Oh, you won't be regretting this, Watcher. At least so long as you keep us heavy in grog and light on the onions. Ugh, them dirty shit apples ain't never agreed with me, and I'll be suspecting they never will.
The dirty shit apples. He pats his belly as he strides to your side.
He's not sleeping near my berth, I promise you that much.
I mean, yeah.
I sail now for Dunwich, my own safe port. I will await you there, should you be successful in schooling our wayward captain.
Okay. Oh, we can cipher a barbarian or witch barbarian cipher. Ooh. Ooh. Let's... I mean, we are part cipher, right? Or are we? I don't know. Okay. So as far as I understand, ciphers are mostly like attacking the mind of your enemies. Lots of debuffs, stuff like that. What do you have in Barbarian? Barbaric Yell, Frenzy. Rush out when in pain. Or Witch. I think we go with Cypher. Okay, we're back at ship. Let's have a look at Seraphim. There he is. Reputation. Seraphim takes a dim view of races, comments, and attitudes. Worldly, Seraphim appreciates the cosmopolitan lifestyle and outlook on life. Impassioned is a passionate person. Light-hearted. Skullduggery. People who use lies, deception in general. Okay. Anti-Principe. Seraphim supports the pirates of the Principe Sen Patrena and dislikes those who act against them. Okay. Interesting. So he has a hand mortar. Oh boy. As loud and stubby as its owner, this hand mortar marries the short white barrel of a blunderbuss to the lightness of a pistol. True hand mortars launch grenades and are unpopular shipboard and elsewhere due to the ridiculous danger of igniting one explosive to propel another. Seraphim claims to have had his modified to fire grape shot by a dwarf gunsmith named Cassilianet. He used to crew with aboard the Sorcerer. Despite doubts about the veracity of his story, the efficiency of the gun and the roaring cloud of burning metal it projects is rarely questioned. Okay. Oh yeah, that is the wax sealed letter that we received, which I assume is okay. What I assume is DLC content. We have a torch. Here's also 2 pistols. Okay. He's well equipped, so I don't have to think about that too much. Spirit residue. Okay. I guess we can make our way towards Port Maje again, because I want to see if I can hire some crews. I'll take care of that, some provisions. Or I can go to ship deck. Abandoned village. What does that mean? That usually means to higher level, right? Okay, yeah. This quest is 1 level higher than your character's current level. It may provide a bit challenging. Okay, 1 level higher. It's at least 4 levels higher than your character's current. Failure is all but assured. Okay. Let's go for Port Maje, see if we can get some provisions. So we found our Orlan guy from the loading screen. We found Aloth and Adair, who are both on the screen. So we're finding people. This ship, though.
Fresh fish.
So I think we have to talk to the person in front of the pavilion about provisions. But we can level up, which is also very important. Okay, he has mechanics, Seraphim, which is good because I need mechanics. I go further into Arcana. Or actually I will go further into Alchemy. And then I will go further into Insight. Oh right, I'm a druid wizard mix. While wielding a single one-handed weapon, some of the attacker's hits are converted into crits. Rolling Flame, I could do... What do we have on this side? Don't I have Blizzard? Apparently not. Wild Strike Freeze. The Druid's knowledge of the force of nature allows them to automatically inflict additional freeze damage when spirit shifted. Yeah, let's do that. I kind of focus on all the frost elements so far, so I think I will go with that. There you go. Although I'm not doing the spirit shift much right now. So I think I will go first with Blizzard. Or, I mean, Charm Beast could also be useful. They could all be useful. Talon's Reach. Let's go with Blizzard. I'm probably completely messing up the character level up, but hey, that's what I do. Let's give him some experience in explosives and some more streetwise. What's that? Rapid recovery. Charged by the rush of battle, the fighter will continue to regenerate health at a moderate rate. Okay, let's do that, because he's our melee character. Or one of our melee characters, at least. Bears Fortitude. Would also make sense. Makes him more of our tank, which I'm fine with. And then we have Alof. Let's give him some Arcana. And some more history. 2 points to spend. Level 3 skills. New power level unlocked. Crackling Bolt. Caster becomes a living generator for a powerful bolt of electricity that streaks out in a straight line and bounces off walls, harming anything caught in its path. It's always so dangerous. Summon 3 missiles that each pierce through the target and then leap to additional targets. Let's take that. And oh, that could be so fire damage. Corrosive Siphon eats away at the target spirit, inflicting corrosive damage and converting that essence into health for the caster. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Let's do that. I like it. Okay, I think we are all leveled up. Do we have... Blow the man down? Sail to Fort Deadlight. Oh, now these are not even too high of a level. Okay, that's good.
Yes?
We have supplies here for the paying customer. Provisions
Okay.
for... Have a look.
Let's see. Okay, let's first see if we can sell something. Large shield and hunting bow can go. Other than that, I think we're fine. So, let's see. We have morale. Morale measures the crew's overall attitude and sense of common purpose. The mental and emotional health of the crew is vital to success in combat. Poor morale may lead to a brawl, even mutiny. Okay. We have some food. Water, medicine, ammunition, and repair. Okay, let's get some repair supplies. How much money do I have? Let's get 10. Why is there unlimited? Oh, I guess. Oh, because then we would be filled. Okay. Oh, that's expensive. That would be expensive. But we would be done with that for now. And I would assume I wouldn't have to worry about that anytime soon. So, let's do it. Okay. And then I think there was something
Indeed.
at the tavern about hiring crew. So let's check that out.
It's smart giving the Juan all these guns.
And then we should be ready for the sea. Isn't that exciting? And which also means that I probably get totally lost on the map and do all kinds of strange side quests. Like the whole torch thing really bothers me.
Yes? Of course.
It is always so dark in this game. That is
Still
a
kicking,
bit
eh?
bothering.
What would it be?
I'd like to hire some crew
There's
members.
plenty of people looking for passage out of here. Let's see if any of them catch your interest.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Little Luca. Raised dwarf with deerwood. Personality chatty. Job trades. Novice navigator. Deckhand. Okay. Novice deckhand or other mad or more malicious. Vanese. Looks fancy. Novice cannoneer. Academic. And we have shield sister Dahlia. Costs a little bit more, but she's a novice deckhead and surgeon. Could be interesting because we have an injured member. So, shield sister Dahlia. Could be something. Ikuk, chatty, dwarf, helmsman and cannoneer. And then Hamer, cook. Seasoned cook, even. Okay. Let's get shield sister Dahlia. Let's get little Luca. We get helmsman and cannoneer. EQ. Let's hire him. And chatty rowdy. Let's get a good cook. That's important. Import adventure. Okay. Level 1 adventure, level 2. I thought about maybe creating another custom one, but I kind of like my squad members to have quests and background, so I'll probably just stick with them. Okay, so we have the crew and we have some provisions, which means we should be good to set out and explore the wide sea of the Deadfire archipelago. So, let me see. In terms of our formation, we have Adair, and Shoti there. Let's go with this. Because it does make sense that I, as the druid, am right at the front. Okay, we do have supplies by sea. Leave town by sea. Our main quest destination, if I remember correctly, would be to the northeast, she said. Ikaba. But there is something here. Marul the Mad. Let's go down to the abandoned village. I'm curious. I want to explore. Is she not healing? Why not? Wait. Can I, like... Healing and resting slot. None. Why can't I... Injured crew. Also, I have to figure all these things out. So, apologies. It doesn't move very quickly. But, I need to figure out all the mechanics so we're good to go. So, I want to go through all of them. Which is why I want to now have a look at the deck view and how that goes. Embark. While on deck of your ship, you can select loops to access the world map. Okay. So, can I talk to these guys? Oh, there's little Luca. We hired her. Marina Saloon. We have Bealdle there. Seraphin. Oh yeah, we haven't talked to him.
Truth be told, Ferrante half expects us to get our asses blown out of the water at Fort Deadlight. Fortunately for you, I have this bad habit of beating the odds. Of course, I do that by way of good old traditional chicanery. And the most important part of any hornswoggle? Solid planning. Well, that and surviving.
What can you tell me about Fort Deadlight?
Valian made originally. Piled them stones up a few centuries back, but gave it up when the fishmen wouldn't leave them be. Hard to defend against Wilder crawling up out of your crappers. Captain Aldiz claimed it a few years back. Fucking filthy from bow to stern. And she had her lads and lasses cleaning fish shit out of the floorboards for months.
That sounds pleasant.
A couple of them thought it might be better sailing elsewhere and left in the night. Aldiz tracked them down quick as you like, took their heads, and fixed them into little lanterns for the front gate. Called them Fort Deadlight's Deadlights. They say she ain't had a deserter since. Tad cruel for my taste. But I admit to admiring the wordplay.
Do you know anything about the fort's defenses?
Funny thing about it being a fort means it ain't a boat. Means it don't have to worry about the weight of cannons are storing honking big balls. Guns they got crowning that castle put a hole in your poop deck before you've sighted land.
He sighs and scuffs his boot against the
fort
floor.
Itself be floor to ceiling rum-sodden fools, so that be going for us. But Aldiz keeps the crew on the walls sharp and sober. One blast of their horns and Deadlight's locked up tight as an endearing mugger night. We'll stay that way too, till any unfamiliar ships have been shot to shit and shot again.
What do you know of Aldous?
She's sharp as shit, that one. Tongue, mind, and ears alike. Sailed out of Deerwood or Adir one. Knows her knots and how to crew a ship that won't turn sour. But words ring out among the Principe, more than you'd think for new blood. Part of that's her fierce support of freedom, from slavers, from the empires, from the Juana's caste system even. The rest are lenient and step out of line and Ferrante's got your old crew up for lashes. Aldis, though, she's, let's say there's a reason she attracts limp-cocked nut-twists like Benwith. Can't say I much approve of a lack of regard for our traditions, but, can't say I don't share her vexations with Ferrante and the old guard, neither.
He runs a furrowed paw over his braided head. Should the Principe do something about Aldis?
Ah, the Principe's no fleet. More a mishmash of fiercely independent captains. A lot of them take to one another like sharks to krakens. But we be bound by the slippery slip knots of tradition. Even those bucking tradition cooperate for protection against our enemies. Many of the old guard have died off, though. And the new blood flooding in be, less the civil sort.
Okay, you mentioned you have contacts at the fort. Can we rely on their help?
Oh, I did say contacts, didn't I?
Seraphim rubs the back of his head as he takes a sudden, studious interest in his boots.
Contact would be more accurate, in the singular. A lass by the name of Ciri. Been running the same circles for years, doldrums and fair winds. We're never family, but never on the wrong ends of arms, neither. Might have shaken the sheets a few months back. Regardless of how she feels about me, there's no love lost betwixt her and Benwith, that's for damn certain.
Okay. Your contact is some random lover of yours?
Random? What do you take me for, Captain?
The scourge of the hearts throughout the Deadfire.
I can't say as you're entirely wrong.
Let's go over the plan to get into Fort.
Deadlight's a tough coconut to crack. But if not cracking, what are nuts for?
I think this calls for a clever approach.
Smart play for crashing any party involves scavenging yourself up an invite, and then dressing to impress.
He puffs out his chest, thumb stuck into the fine fabric of his shirt. So look the part.
Aye, Captain, from stem to stern. Looking the part in this case means hoisting colours identifying us as Principe. Don't have to tell you how dangerous such a bit of fabric can be if the wrong person catches you flying it.
How hard could it be to purchase a flag?
Well, Principe captains don't just give up their flags for a few coins.
He scratches his rump, head cocked to one side.
Nekataka's black market. If there be a Principe flag for sale, it'll be there. Mark it up and relocates every so often to avoid the Royal Guard. We'll just have to find wherever it currently be anchored.
Okay, that sounds good. We have a plan.
Aye, Captain. Looking forward to watching you work.
Let's see what he has
your business,
to say.
Cap, but if we don't set sail for Deadlight, Benweth will finish his repairs at Paul Anchor.
I think we
Later,
have...
sure.
Okay. Okay. So... anything from Roger?
Grassima Casita for taking me on.
Ship management. Is that where I can... Ooh. There are several jobs on the ship that the crew needs to fill while sailing. Every ship needs deckhands, cannoneers, and helmsmen, and all ships benefit from having a cook, surgeon, and navigator on board. The larger ships even require a bosun to keep the deckhands in order. To place a new sailor on the ship, you must be in a port. Click an available sailor from the known sailors section and move them to an open role on the ship. Note that each sailor has different talents. Not all sailors will be well suited for a given job. Filter through the known sailor job types to see who excels at each role. Your crew consumes both food and drink while adventuring. The type of food and drink you feed them will adjust their morale. More expensive provision make them happier. Cheap food and drink will lower their morale over time. Even so, few things will impact your crew's morale as badly as letting them starve. A starving crew with low morale may mutiny. If neglected for long enough, some may even die. There are several jobs on the ship. The captain determines how likely the ship is to gain advantage, first move, and other bonuses in ship-to-ship combat. Deckhands are required to perform any maneuvers in ship-to-ship combat. If a ship does not have enough deckhands, it will move more slowly on the world map. The more skilled deckhands a ship has, the faster it will move in combat. A bosun counts as a deckhand, but is more important for the ability to accelerate the completion of special events, such as putting out a deck fire on the ship by coordinating their actions. A helmsman is required for turning and jibe action in ship-to-ship combat. More experienced helmsmen make the ship harder to hit after performing turn and jibe actions. Cannons cannot fire without a cannoneer assigned to them. The more experienced a cannoneer, the more accurate their fire. The surgeon increases the rate of healing for injured crew members in reserve, both in combat and while traveling. The two jobs have no combat roles, but may be called upon to resolve ship events. The navigator increases speed on the world map, and the cook reduces food consumption while traveling. Okay. Now, there are our port cannons. We have 2 of these. Oh, we can change our colors. Interesting. Resting crew. Injured. Cracked bone. Yeah, how can I... Cook. She's the cook, right? Let's put her there. What is that? Miscellaneous upgrades, okay. But I do want to put her in the spot where she heals. Irena. Navigator, Leluca. Seasoned deckhand, novice deckhand. Hull. Ship name color. Let's go with dark green. Hull color, dark green. Then sails primary color. Black sails. To intimidate. Sails secondary color. A little bit of a lighter green. Okay, we can change the name of the Defiant. We may do that. Of course, it will be the Akosombo. What a beautiful ship. Okay. Let's use this to talk a little bit with the crew. See if we can find things out. We should also be able to talk to Aloth, right? Since we left Port Maje. And maybe find out a little bit more about why he was undercover.
I'll take care
My
of
lady,
this.
what do you require? I was the steward of your keep at Cad Nua, my lady.
Let's talk to the steward as well.
Long before your time, I had my soul bound to a throne of Ardraban. And for nearly 200 years, I felt Cad Nua and the comings and goings within it like an extension of myself. It is a strange connection to lose. Still, it would be unseemly for me to complain of loss to you, my lady.
How did I get a ship in the first place?
With Cad Nua in ruins, there was little purpose in waxing sentimental over the rubble. I was able to salvage enough of your treasure and wealth to afford the purchase of the Defiant and the hire of a small crew.
It's the Akosombo now, by the way.
Unfortunately, that consumed the remainder of your once considerable assets. Under the circumstances, I hoped you would not object.
What should I do next?
I suggest we proceed to Nekataka, my lady. It is the largest city in Deadfire, and we shall be better able to get our bearings there.
Okay, here's something that I would like to hear from you. Give me a few suggestions about a good, fitting ship name for our little journey. It should be something nice, not something too crazy, something fitting. And then we'll see which one I pick. If there's something nice in your suggestions, leave that maybe in the comments down below. I will have a look at that. Engram. Nothing from him. Dark Ray Cape. Minor healing. Fragments of Blade of the Endless Path. The mythic blade of the catacombs of Katnur was destroyed when Eothas emerged from beneath the keep. The shards are no longer of use to anyone unless they could be reforged. Ooh. As the devastation of Katnur, the sword known as the Whisper of Yenwood has once again found its way into the possession of the keep's road warden, albeit in pieces. Okay. I like it. What is that? Bookcase. Letter from Orfra. I remember Orfra. She's she was she? Was Orfra the pregnant woman whose sister aided us in the intro Pillars of Eternity? I think so. Naya, I hope this letter finds you in good health. It has been many summers now since you arrived in Gilded Vale. Much has changed in those years for both of us. I do not know if you remember me, but the day you came to my door is not one I will forget. For months afterwards I wrestled with my faith and my fear, and still the gods have blessed me with a son. He is healthy and strong, and already so curious. All of Gilded Vale dotes upon him. I have told him of you. He asks constantly after the Watcher who restored his spirit and hopes one day to meet you. Until then, know that we keep you in our prayers. Your most grateful servant, Orfra. Oh, that's such a nice callback. I like it. Okay, there's Shodi. Anything new from you?
Ship life sure is an adventure, ain't it? Just think of all the places we can sail to, all the sights we could see. This is nothing like being stuck on a farm, or cloistered in the back of a temple.
Shodi wraps her sickle against her thigh as she studies the boat's layout. Satisfied by whatever she sees, she tilts her head to you with a small smile.
Tell me what's on your mind?
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
They're there in my head when I sleep. And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear of grit. Happens when I take in a particularly volatile soul.
So, what are you going to do?
Go madder than I already am? I don't rightly know. It's not like I can turn my back on my duty to my god, even if it kills me.
What are your thoughts on it?
We talking during the Saints' War or after he died?
Okay, didn't we have that?
No need to fiddle-foot around. You need me, I'll be too...
Okay. Nothing from you. Shield Sister Dahlia, nothing there. Let's talk to Aloy. Maybe now finally he tells us a little bit more
Thank you
about
again
what's going
for
on.
maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others.
He gives you a grateful smile that fades almost as quickly as it appears.
I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative.
Are you still thinking about Vanessa?
I realized there could be nothing between us. But it was nice to have a friend all the same.
I thought we were friends.
You stood with me through more than anyone I've ever known.
He clasps his hands together, working his fingers into a tight knot.
But a lot has happened over the last 5 years.
So tell me.
After we parted, I set out to destroy the Leaden Key.
Okay.
It's controlled us for too long. I wanted to free Kith from it. So for 5 years, I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret.
He knits his brows.
Trying to undo them.
And how has that been
The
going?
task has been more difficult than I anticipated.
How so?
I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make. Or the burden of living with them. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours.
He glances at you out of the corner of his eye. Well, we all have to stand on our own eventually.
I know. And I have.
He laces his fingers together, a familiar look of anxiety working its way over his face.
After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of undoing his work would be tracking down the Leaden Key's members and operations.
But...
Perhaps this would be easier with an example. I went to a village in Old Valia, a run-down backwater of a place. Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition.
He grimaces.
At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt.
So what did you do?
The village priest administered the practice. Grim old fellow. Reminded me of Theos.
He raises an eyebrow at you.
He was a tyrant. I was certain that if the villagers were free of his influence, they'd be free from the bloodletting too. So I arranged for him to have an accident.
He gives you a sly look. Shoti runs her tongue over her teeth. And then... yeah, that kind of seems dirty.
I did it for the right reasons. Not that this changed much. The old man died, and the villagers were terrified. They were convinced his death was an ill omen. They blamed it, and every other mishap that befell them, on their lack of faith. So they began bloodletting every week, turning on their neighbors for giving too little.
His lips twist as if the words themselves have a bitter taste.
Instead of a handful dying each year, a few perished every week.
He's worked the edge of his sash into a tight knot. He clenches it between pale, rigid fingers. Well, if you yeah, exactly. If you barely understood it.
I had to do something, didn't I?
He turns to you with wide, anguished eyes. He pauses again, untwisting the sash at his lap.
I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better.
Learning from mistakes like this is a good start. Stop dwelling on this. The villagers have found a way to live with the ritual. In time, perhaps they would have changed it on their own. I mean, that could be the case. But I think, like, learning from the mistakes is good.
I suppose so. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you've given me a lot to think about.
Well, wait a second. You still haven't told me what the animances have to do with all of this.
Ah, that.
Yeah. He massages his temples.
I'm looking for an old Leaden Key sect. I've found several references, but...
He breaks off, shaking his head.
I want to be sure. Please, let me go over my notes again. Then I promise I'll tell you everything.
This isn't about your notes. You're second-guessing yourself. Again.
You know me too well. All the same, I need to gather my thoughts.
Okay. And
What's
anything
on
new
your
from
mind?
there? Nope. Let me quickly check the quest. Yes. Wait for Aelith to explain further. Okay, then we have the lighted path. Find someone who might know Idair's friends. I was told to speak with the Dawnsa Albanor named Nordagan and the Temple of Gorn in Nikitaka. So another thing in Nikitaka. The Lantern of Gorn. Okay. blow the man down. Sail to Fort Deadlight. That is obviously a thing that we need to do. And then the veins of Eora also lead us to Nikitaka. And with the blow the man down, we decided, or at least found out, that we could purchase a Principe sail to infiltrate Fort Deadlight, or get in there sneakily. So that will be our plan. And now let's go back on deck. And that is where we will end today's episode. We learned the basics for the ship management. We are now on sea. We left Port Maje, our first spot in this game, and I also found another companion with Seraphim, and we learned a little bit of background to Aloth. So lots of stuff happened. Very excited to continue now with our ship. Again, let me know if you have any nice suggestions for a ship name, and just leave your suggestions down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want more content, consider subscribing to the channel. I will be back with Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, very, very soon. Until then, have a great time.